the third Boy Scout rank of Firecrafter is that of Firecrafter itself. Firecrafter requires a fire by friction using only natural materials, an overnight campout, a campfire program led by the candidate, and completion of 3 hours of service for your camp. The candidate must complete successfully the inspections, reviews, and unknown tests of the Firecrafter ritual.
This week, my Boy Scout troop is at beautiful Camp Davy Crockett in Upper East Tennessee. Just about every year, my buddy Mike picks a challenge for us to pursue while we're away at summer camp. This year he suggested that we ought to make a pump drill out of only natural found materials, stuff that either he or I picked up out of the woods. And he said we could only use hand tools, preferably just pocket knives and hatchets and small camp saws, tools that we normally take with us on regular troop campouts. This video is the story of our adventure. Well, after several hours of whittling and chopping and sawing, I think we've got all the pieces together for our pump drill. Before we do any assembly, I want to show you what we've got. The first thing I've got is an ash shaft. This is an ash sapling, white ash sapling that I cut along a trail and left to dry in my basement for about 6 months. The next piece I've got is a piece of honeysuckle. I'm calling this our collar. And it's got a hole clean through it that my buddy Mike carved with his pocket knife. The hole's not quite circular, and it kind of takes on the shape of the taper of his pocket knife blade. And the way we're going to use this is we're going to shove it onto the end of the shaft like that. My bit is a piece of goldenrod. I like to use goldenrod as my bit for making fire by friction with a pump drill, and that's going to go into the bottom of the collar, something like that. Now for my flywheel, we've got a piece of beech, I believe, that we split in two, and we've carved a V-notch into both sides. And Mike carved some flats on our shaft about 1 inch above where the collar will be seated. And we're going to attach this flywheel like that. And then my pump bar will go like that. This is also beech. And that big hole took a long time to cut with a pocket knife. All of this is going to be held together with some pine pitch glue that I made on a camp out about 6 weeks ago. This is made of pine resin, charcoal that we got out of our fire pit, and some rabbit poo. And we're going to kind of glue all this together as best we can. And then I've got some cordage. I've got about 30 feet of cordage that I made reverse wrapped from dogbane fibers. I made this past winter. We're going to lash both sides of our flywheel, and this will also serve as our pump cord a little bit later on. And ultimately, I'm going to pick one of these fireboards to use. This is white pine. You can see I've used it. And this is some eastern hemlock. And as I said in the introduction, we did this all with hand tools. Here's my Swiss Army knife. It's got a nice saw blade in it. This is my little camp hatchet and my camp knife. And Mike used his own tools. All right, I think it's time to put this pump drill together and see if it works. Here's the final product, all assembled and ready for a test drive. We put a little bit of our pine pitch glue to hold the collar onto the shaft. You may be able to see a little bit of the black pine pitch glue around the top of the collar. We put some of the pine pitch glue along the shaft, and then a big dollop about right here, a big dollop about right there, and then we squished this flywheel together. And just sort of a belt and suspenders type of approach, we took some of our dogbane cordage and we tied 4 constrictor knots, tied them real tight to kind of hold everything together. So there it is. It's hopefully it's a functional work of art. I hope it works as well as it looks. Let's give it a test drive. If I'm looking a little bit puffy-eyed, it's because I've been playing a lot more than I've been sleeping. It's been a great week. All right, here we go. I decided to use my Eastern Hemlock fireboard, and my tinder bundle, if I manage to get an ember, is the inner bark of a dead white ash tree. Wish me luck. This is the first try for an ember. We have an ember. I pumped a little longer than I probably should have, because I wasn't sure if it had ignited or not, but I dare say that's a good ember. Success! If you can't tell, I'm really proud of this project. Can't wait to go back and show the rest of the troop in a little demo this evening. There may be more footage later, but just in case there isn't, that's all for this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time. All right, Scouts. Let's give it another try, see if we can make this work. My buddy stopped filming after the failure, but I got an ember, so keep watching.
Are you gonna make a fire from that ember?
I'm gonna try my best. Sometimes the fire gods do not smile favorably in your direction.
See the ember.
At least we got an ember.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You better be rolled. Oh yeah, that's rolling.
There's something in there.
That's
All right.
There we go. All right, to wrap this one up, I wanted to share with you the nature of the failure we encountered when I was demonstrating my pump drill to the Scouts. Here's the awl bit in my Swiss Army knife. It's about a quarter of an inch wide, and that results in about a quarter of an inch diameter hole in my pump bar where I attach the cord. And let me set that knife down. The cord itself is quite a bit smaller in diameter, maybe an eighth of an inch or so. To keep it from pulling through, my buddy Mike, who happens to be holding the camera right now, made a couple of little buttons. And these buttons, we tied a figure-8 knot in the dogbane, and those little buttons helped keep the cord from pulling through the hole in the pump bar. Well, when I was demonstrating it to the Scouts, one of those little buttons broke, and even though I had a figure-8 knot tied in the dogbane, it pulled through, and of course I had a failure. But that's easy enough to fix. I'll fix it before the afternoon's over. I should also point out that dogbane will eventually wear out. I've used dogbane in other pump drills in the past, And I've never gotten more than about 7 embers before this just kind of wore out and broke. But again, I've probably got 30 feet of that I made over the winter, and it's easy enough to replace. So it'll all be good. Sometimes you just have to be able to fine tune, troubleshoot, and fix. If you made it this far in this video, thank you again for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.